Welcome back to Let's Play DDO Permadeath. So if you didn't see the previous video yet, I can highly recommend it since it was very interesting. Seriously, there's about to be spoilers, so you should go watch the previous video first. So, as you will know, since you watched the previous video, the character died in that video, so this sequence of videos, this playlist, is over. I will be deleting this character shortly, since it's a Permadeath character, and so it's now dead. So when I was doing the Rayam run, my immediate reaction wasn't too disappointed when I died. I was playing the character well, I think, doing pretty well in the quest. I got unlucky with failing my save on Disintegrate, and so I felt like I'd done a decent job on the character and got a long way. I'm more disappointed now, having gone back and looked at the recording. Firstly, I got a 1 on the reflex save, or it might be a fort save actually, against the Disintegrate, so it was kind of unlucky. And I then got, the guy double tapped me with Disintegrate and then Polar Ray. And I was in the middle of casting my quickened Necrotic Burst when he took me out, which was kind of unfortunate. But more importantly, I thought that he'd dispelled my protection from energy cold. Actually, the buff just ran out about 10 seconds before I died. So that was careless on my part. So actually it wasn't an unlucky death, it was a careless death. Which happens playing Permadeath, but it shows that you really do have to be continually paying attention and playing at your best, otherwise it will all go badly. As to the character in general, I mean that's sort of the post-mortem part of the video, as I did with my previous character. There's so also on my account, if you've jumped in and you've been watching the Pal Master here, I do have a video of my previous Permadeath soloer, which was an Artificer. All the videos of that character are on a different playlist, also on my YouTube account. So as with that character, I did a post-mortem video, so here I am again. I like this guy. The character played very well. This is probably the strongest character I've played at these levels. He'd done a really large number of things on hard or elite. I've never had such a well filled in quest journal, I think, for those low level, for that low level content. I've done a lot of stuff on this guy on hard or elite that I've not done that way before solo. I think this is the first guy I've had solo through Jungle of Khyber, for instance. Certainly the first character I've done Shadow Crypt on hard. And I think all of the quests in Necro 3. Tomb of the Blighted I've done on hard solo before, but the others probably not. So yes, this guy was playing very strongly, and a shame to lose him at this stage of the game, since doing the Sands and Giant Horde stuff in many ways is the most fun part of the game. So a shame to be interrupted in some of the best content. The Pale Master is clearly a very versatile build. Having the summons enable me to do a lot of stuff solo that I couldn't have done otherwise. As I was talking about at the start of the last video, the tactical flexibility was amazing. Having so many different options for tackling the fights. The combination of playing a Dwarf Wizard was certainly fully justified. Having the extra constitution means I had pretty decent hit points at my level, which meant I was very survivable. More survivable than I've been on many outright melee characters. Even though I should be getting fewer hit points per level on this guy, I was still very survivable, no question. And taking strength was definitely justified as well. I was worried that putting the points in strength would seem like a waste once I got past the low levels. But it certainly helped a couple of videos ago in Invaders, where I was meleeing all the beholders, and meleeing all the enemies, of course. So putting points in strength was definitely still working as high as level 14. maybe it would have been a waste at very high levels, but then most of the stats other than int and con would be a waste at high levels on a caster, I guess. So it still seems like it was a reasonable choice. I did worry a lot about feat selection. Don't think much of it really mattered in the end. I think Augment Summoning was probably useful at low levels, but it didn't prove important really for the skeletal summons. And I was pretty happy to have taken Mental Toughness, which was one I wasn't sure about, but I think having the spell points worked out just fine. There was nothing else I regretted not having, really. I never took Empower, but I don't think I really needed it. And there's no question that having heightened SLA webs was simply devastating. Extremely useful thing to have. Alright, so all that remains is to figure out what I'm doing next, whether I will make another soloer and continue making videos. I've been thinking over it in the last day or so, and I guess there's a few choices. I could start another solo character at level 1. To make it different from the videos I've already made, I guess it would have to be a melee character. So I could do that. On the other hand, probably this pattern will repeat itself quite a few times, right? I'll solo my way up to some level and then die again, because that's how Permadeath works. And it might end up being a little repetitive going through all the low level stuff again. So I could also make like a pseudo vet stat build. I could start a character. I never use vet stat builds myself, so I would start at level 1, but I wouldn't start the videos until I made level 7 or level 10, or maybe even level 14. Of course, that would mean maybe rather a large gap in the videos. I could take one of my existing characters around this level that hasn't been soloing and make it into a soloer. I think I have a cleric at level 14, would be the only suitable character. On the other hand, it would be kind of a loss for the rest of the guild if my cleric stopped grouping up and was soloing the whole time, since I'm one of the people in the guild that likes playing clerics, so I'm very often the party cleric. And the other possibility is I just take a break from this for a while until I get inspired to do another series, which might be how it turns out. I've been thinking of doing a second run through of Skyrim. I've only played through that game once, and that's a solo only game, of course, and it's very interesting. So I may do that. So there may be a gap in the videos at this point. I don't know, but I'm still thinking about it. So feel free to leave any comments on the video, or indeed speak to me in person, since I think about half the people subscribed to this are members of the guild and speak to me from time to time. Let me know what you think might be interesting. I might also spend some time playing around on my my monk soloer, who's the only soloer I've ever made it to 20 with. He actually hasn't done much content since he reached level 20. On the other hand, I don't think he'd make a very good video character, because I suspect he'll die quite quickly in epic levels. I don't know the content well, and he's not really I mean, he's very powerful, but he's not a solo build as such, so I suspect he'll get killed off in some quest that I don't know well, sooner or later. Anyway, that's the end for this sequence of videos. This character's dead, and I will now go and dismember him, pick out an heirloom item to pass on to another character. And yes, that's the end of this playlist. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it interesting.